Virtual classes became popular with the arrival of the coronavirus. The pandemic made kindergartens, schools, secondary schools, high schools, and universities implement virtual class or class on television. Despite being in the middle of a pandemic, life continued, and for many it has been easier, and for others it has been more difficult. Why? When all this happened, it became essential for all of us to have a functional and up-to-date cell phone, a computer, and the internet cannot be absent. For many, it became difficult to choose material that were indispensable, and that without they will not be able to continue with their work or with their education. At the time, laptops were at 6,000, they rose to 2 to 3, and desktop computers from being a strength rose to untold praise. At this when it was privileged, a luxury from, when they do the next, become something totally indispensable, and something that without it you could not continue your work or studies. Almost a year after thinking virtual clouds, many pros and cons have emerged about this new modality. Are we learning something? Are we more concerned with handing in assignment than learning? Are virtual classes getting more and more stressful? Everyone is expecting different things when is wishing that is not. For many, school was a second home to which they went when they had problems at home. It was straight white out, and with his. For many, it seemed to be stuck or totally locked in. I remember that when the pandemic began, a few months of all this had passed, I opened my Facebook on a normal day for me. I saw many publications from different friends and acquaintances publishing photos of another acquaintance who had committed suicide. In a week, I heard from different people whether they made the same choice. At that moment, I asked myself, what had led him to make that decision? Days later, talking with other friends, the topic came up and they commented that even so, they already had problems. Virtual class were one of them. Since she felt that they were not learning, and the frustration came. And in many schools, I think that teachers are not so skirmish, so that makes it in every more difficult. I think that it before, depression and stress were very frequent in adolescents or young people. Now with virtual class, it is more common since we have to deal with accommodating our house or bedrooms in a classroom or schedules that also stop our families are difficult and that cause problems. Says many times they think that because we are at home we do not have homework or classes. And that is a problem. A few weeks ago I saw on Instagram a publication of a Greek boy shared that her son was asked what his wish was. The wish the boy replied in the middle of class was that his father returned home. Perhaps the other children did not understand with the context of the answer, but the teacher and the mother realized what was happening. I think if someone else had heard it, they would say that she only said it because she heard it. But in a way for children to safe place is school, and being home alone causes confusion. I think we all need interaction with another person or with a group of people, and when the pandemic hit, we didn't say goodbye or anything. Simple every soul used that we no longer return to school or work, and from one moment to the next we become prisoners of our homes for healthy and safety. We get used to covering half of our face for healthy and living with fear of returning infected. We learning to interact in different ways. We learn those we learned those conversations between classmates. They turned into groups of chats. He participated in Calvi teams. We have handled all this by saying it from a positive perspective, and because virtual class is still making use so difficult and make use feel so insufficient to study or know the course we are studying. Because even for a 6 years old new pup, who is just kindergarten, it is very difficult to do homework or pay attention in class. What is happening to you? If we have been too able to handle everything else, why not it is? Would we blame the coronavirus, the government, the institutions? We don't know, perhaps to all three? From my point of view, extreme virtual class are as difficult for use as they are for teacher, and I think that intensity of that is because the teacher really want used to learning someone and science they cannot support as usual in person. Supporting use in what we struggle. Their way of doing it is be applying more activity and tasks so that they can help use reinforce those activity and tasks. And from what we know, this pandemic will be good for use for a long time. So perhaps we will have to finish our careers in virtual class. And the teachers, the government, and the institution want you to come out with an efficient preparation.